entertain with a spectacular style that is metamorphosized from comic books to radio, television, and the movies. They're a genuine phenomenon of our culture, capturing the imaginations of all ages and languages, and forging a legacy that has lasted half a century. But above all, they're the avengers of injustices, the crusaders for righteousness, and the battlers for truth. They are the superheroes. From Flash Gordon to Captain America, Buck Rogers to the Green Hornet, Commando Cody to Captain Marvel. They become familiar icons to us all. But none has been as explosive as Batman. 1989 marked both his megastar revival as a box office sensation and his 50th anniversary as a comic book legend. This phenomenal success has simultaneously capitalized on the nostalgia of older fans and mobilized an army of younger ones, spawning a merchandiser's dream in the process, and renewing interest in Batman's past incarnations, as well as those of the other superheroes. Cartoonist Bob Kane created the Batman for Detective Comics in 1939, hoping to repeat the massive success of the Superman comics of the mid-30s. Kane got the idea from Mary Roberts Reinhardt's novel, The Bat, which was filmed as a silent movie in the 1920s and featured the mysterious masked villain simply known as the Bat. But Kane made his Batman a crime stopper and substituted gadgetry and vengefulness for the more superhuman traits of amazing power and a quest for world peace. But the Caped Crusader and the Man of Steel weren't the only comic strip heroes fighting crime in the 1930s. Along with the Spider, there was Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers in the future, Captain America and the adventures of Captain Marvel in the present, and the Phantom, or the ghost who walks, in his hidden jungle retreat. The transition to radio in the late 1930s and early 40s further dramatized the individual superheroes' adventures and made stars of such masked avengers as the Green Hornet. But it was Superman who took to the airwaves with the most spectacular flair. Less than 2 years after his creation in the pages of Action Comics, Superman made his debut on radio. The date was February 12, 1940. His 3 times per week show was hosted by Clayton Bud Collier. Having conquered radio, Superman moved to the big screen beginning in 1941, bringing his comic book persona to life in a series of 17 animated cartoon shorts. These full-color cartoons not only electrified audiences of the time, they represented groundbreaking new sophistication in animation technique and rivaled the Disney studio in style and brilliance.
He isn't human!
The success of Superman as an animated crime fighter paved the way for live-action superheroes. The 1940s heralded the era of the movie serial, which presented cliffhanging action stories in 12 to 15 installments, and thus launched an explosion of superhero popularity. One of the earliest and most popular of the serial superheroes was Captain Marvel, played by former Western star Tom Tyler.
These lenses, I can turn the inside of this mountain into hot, molten rock. No one, not even Captain Marvel, can survive that.
Captain America featured actor Dick Purcell as a crusading district attorney who wears a mask and costume to battle the forces of evil. Again, this Saturday matinee character was based on a comic book.
Alibying his failure to turn up anything in these Purple Death murders.
You remember the Commissioner and I have cleaned up crime waves in this town before.
Yes, that mysterious Captain America did most of your work for you.
I feel certain that this new crime wave will bring him out of hiding to help us.
The popular Flash Gordon series in the late 1930s served as the model for these later serial superheroes whose success on the big screen, coupled with continuing comic book bestsellers, created a feeding frenzy of superhero adulation, which would last.
Get it open. Keep an eye out there. Why does not the sacred gong sound the final note which completes the marriage ceremony? Great God, Teo is displeased.
Visual flair of such superheroes as the Phantom proved to be a welcome escape from a world at war. The Phantom starred Tom Tyler, who had also portrayed Captain Marvel 2 years earlier. Yet another comic strip hero brought to life on the screen, the Phantom dispensed his brand of justice from deep within the African jungle. And the combination of crime fighting, daring do, and mystery which accompanied Batman's debut in his 1943 serial served to permanently place him in the pantheon of legendary screen superheroes. Lewis Wilson was the first Batman, Douglas Croft was the initial Robin, and both wore loose-fitting costumes which clashed dramatically with the Caped Crusader's comic book persona. But despite this, Batman was a spectacular success. This paved the way for a second serial The New Adventures of Batman and Robin, 6 years later. The revamped production cast Robert Lowry as Batman and John Duncan as Robin, and brought familiar characters from the Batman comics to life, most notably Vicky Vale and Commissioner Gordon. And the famous Bat Signal appeared in a live-action film for the very first time. Kirk Allen, who'd worked in comedy shorts in the 1930s with Shemp Howard of Three Stooges fame, was cast as the first Man of Steel in the Superman serial. And he followed with another 15-chapter serial, Atom Man vs. Superman, 2 years later. Reeves, who had appeared as one of Scarlett O'Hara's beaux in Gone with the Wind, was cast as TV's first Superman in 1951. He had appeared in movies since the 1940s as a lead or second lead.
Now tell me, what'd you boys find out?
Well, we checked on the old lady, and she's as honest as the day is long. She's been working as a cleaning woman in the Allison building for the last 10 years.
And her husband's out of work.
Took her down to headquarters, showed her every picture in the gallery.
She identify any of them?
No. In my opinion, these two guys come from out of town.
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll invite Mrs. Cowdy and her husband here tonight as my guests. You have your men planted out around the room. And the old lady will give a signal when these guys show up.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Does anybody else in the club know about this?
No one.
Good, then keep it quiet, just in case there's an inside partner.
I won't mention it. Now have your men here early so I can spot them.
Reeves was introduced to audiences in all manner imaginable and appeared in a pilot Superman movie, Superman and the Mole Men, just months before the television series went on the air. It gave Reeves instant credibility as Superman.
Wherever the target is danger, into the fray leaps the mighty Man of Steel, racing with supersonic speed to exploding excitement, bolting fearlessly into violence and villainy. No human onslaught can stay him. Super invincible, zooming out of the skies and crashing through into the very teeth of hair-raising peril. A towering hero booming with super action. Sworn enemy of all evils smashing through. His only shield, his super body. At every turn slamming into breathtaking hazards. The superhero.
Superman became so popular with youngsters, the Kellogg's Company employed the character to hawk their products.
Glad you stopped by for breakfast, Jimmy. Oh, excuse me a moment, will you?
Hey, Mr. Kent, you're out of Kellogg's cornflakes.
Look at the cupboard. There's a spare package.
You mean there was a spare package?
Well, how about running down the store and picking up another one?
Jeepers, we gotta get to the office. There's no time. Who do you think I am, Superman?
No. No, I don't think that.
Out of Kellogg's cornflakes. Fine host he is.
Even if Superman did deliver Kellogg's cornflakes, he'd have a tough time keeping everybody happy. More people run out of them every morning than any other cereal, because Kellogg's cornflakes taste best to more people. Always have, still do. Don't run out at your house. Remember, anytime you buy cereal of any kind, pick up a spare package of Kellogg's
Superman
cornflakes.
spun off from cereal to TV. So did Flash Gordon. This time with Steve Holland in the title role.
Out of this chamber, we can take him by surprise.
What was that?
Of course, what I'm trying to. It's no go. Strange. All jet chambers working perfectly.
We veered 20 degrees.
As far as I can see on a fast check, there's nothing wrong with the earthworms. That means with a power even stronger than our aerojet motors, it's pulling us into, I don't know what.